Hi guys, my name is Orla and I'm a final year economics, politics and law student, and I'm basically going to be talking to you guys about my course and what I do, and basically try to convince you to do my course because it's the best course at DCU. But I'm going to start with the presentation right now, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to hop onto the live chat and ask me any questions. I don't mind. So yeah, I'm going to share my screen. And there are so many tabs, but don't worry about it. I'm working on my dissertation right now. There's too much work in this. Um, okay, so I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Politics, and Law. Again, as I said, I'm in my final year of this course, so I know too much about this course, and I've done this presentation multiple times. So if you have any questions, feel free again to shoot me a text. So basically, I'm going to start off with explaining what this course is. So what is Economics, Politics and Law? So EPL stands for Economics, Politics and Law, obviously. And this course offers students the ability to take on three disciplines at once. So basically, Economics, Politics and Law allows students to understand the fundamental disciplines that function the world, if that makes sense. So like we all know that economics is very important in determining political matters and legal matters, and politics is also important in determining economics, law, and legal matters as well. So and a real life example of this could be like the Ukraine crisis that's a political matter that turned out to affect economics, and we're currently living in a world where there's a cost of living crisis and inflation is like growing at really high levels. So this course basically equips students to like kind of understand that and critically analyze that, if that makes sense. It also is a very broad course, and again, it aims to educate students on the interaction between the three disciplines. So it can be a really challenging course in the sense that you have to kind of like analyze things as in with three different aspects. So you have to act like an economist, then you have to act like a politician and a lawyer. So you need to basically analyze things very differently and basically come up with solutions, come up with answers that try to kind of make the world a better place, if that makes any sense. And that's basically the fundamentals of this course and why this course is like structured the way it is. So the only leaving cert entry requirement for this course is a H6 or an O4 in maths, and that's really important because there is quite a lot of maths in this course. I've gotten some questions on anybody about that, like whether or not like maths is very important for this course. It is slightly important, especially in the economics side of things. I know in first year you have a maths for economics module, which you need to pass to get into second year, but it's not overwhelming. The maths isn't the worst thing in this course. It's not very technical in that aspect. You only come across technical aspects in final year, if that makes sense. So right now I'm studying very technical subjects such as econometrics, but you don't need to do that if you're not interested in maths. So the EPL course structure. So just coming from talking about the maths, and I'm going to go into how the course is structured. So in first and second year, all modules, sorry, are compulsory. So in first year, you have to do everything within. They have to do all three disciplines to fully graduate with the course module, like the course name. Um, so in first year, you're doing for law modules, you're doing constitutional law, you're doing Irish legal skills, you're doing intro to law. You're basically just building your legal skills. Is essentially what you're doing in first year. And then the politics modules that you take in first year are like European integration, American politics, and also a few Irish politics modules. And then for the economic side of things, you are basically getting introduced to the micro and macroeconomics, and you also have to do a maths module, which I just talked about previously. Again, they're all introductory modules, and they basically open you up to understanding the basics of economics, politics, and law. In second year, you kind of go into the intermediate side of things. So for economics, it's intermediate micro and macroeconomics, macroeconomic policy. Then you also have in the politics side of things, like you have the Irish political system, political ideologies, and then in the law side of things, you have contract law, criminal law, and you have EU law. Contract law and criminal law are always the favorites in second year, and so is like the Irish political system, because it's very like it becomes very very interesting. And you in second year it becomes harder because you have to fully try to analyze and critically analyze things. So that's again the challenging aspect comes with when you get into second year. In third year, you are given the opportunity to choose what stream you want to specialize or go into. So I decided to, or you can go on Erasmus or Intra. I decided to go straight into final year and specialize in the economics and politics side of things, because I was just very interested in economic policy, and I want to do a master's in economic policy. So yeah, so in third year you can do three disciplines if you want. You can do all of the three. You can do two, or you can do one. The choice is really up to you. You can tailor this course to what job you want to get or what you want to do after the course. So it's really up to you. And then just from talking about Intra and Erasmus, I'm going to go into further detail. So if you choose to do Erasmus, you will do so in your third year. So instead of going to final year, you'll be doing Erasmus or Intra in third year, and then you'll have a fourth year where you go in and you pick the modules you want to do. So Erasmus is a year-long program, but the conditions or the requirements for Erasmus like change or vary year to year. So it really depends on what year you come into the course and what year you're going to do your Erasmus in. It really does depend. But for right now, I know that you need to get a 2-1 average to be accepted into the program. And the same applies for Intra. Like you also need a 2-1 to get in, 2-1 in first and second year of semester one to get into Intra or Erasmus. I would really highly recommend doing Erasmus and Intra. I know I haven't done it myself, but I have a lot of friends that are currently on Erasmus. They're in Boston, they're in Sweden, they're in Poland, they're all over Europe. Basically, just taking a year out, taking an additional year to study abroad and like build interpersonal skills, communication skills, and basically travel and explore different parts of Europe. I also have friends that are working in various firms and companies, gaining experience and basically applying their theoretical skills to the practical. So I have friends working in PwC, KPMG, Crow, and they're also working in like law firms like Arthur Cox and William Fry. So like it really is those Intra and Erasmus are really good opportunities to basically branch out and explore the world in a different lens, if that makes sense. So going on to career prospects, so students who graduate from EPL can go on to do basically anything. And like a lot of the time when people ask me what can I do from this course, and I say like you can do anything, they think I'm lying, but you can do anything. This course is so broad and so open-ended that it doesn't like you can really tailor it to what you want to do in the future. I have friends who basically are doing stuff that doesn't really relate. You wouldn't think that it would relate to our course, but from building the skills from building skills within the course, they've been able to work in like marketing or finance and stuff like that. So like it really is up to you what you want to do. Like if you want to work within economics, obviously you can fully work in economics. If you want to work in finance, you can. Like there's literally the sky is your limit with this course. So like you can work anywhere. You can work as a legal administrator, financial advisor, civil servants, political and financial analyst. Anywhere you want to work, you can essentially work. And in terms of furthering your education, there's so many students who are gone to doing different master programs, like in different universities. So particularly for me, I want to further specialize and do a master's of science in economic policy, just because I like economics and politics a lot. I'm just kind of seeing how how governments can like utilize macroeconomic tools to develop their country and stuff like that. So that's an area that I'm particularly interested in. But people have done different things. You can go on to do a master's in law or master's in international political economy or masters in politics or masters in human rights. It really is actually up to you. Like you can tailor this course to do whatever you want to do. So that's the beauty of EPL, is that like it's very broad in its structure, and it also allows you to understand like the world in a very analytical, in a critical way, if that makes sense. So that's pretty much all from me. If you have any questions, feel free to like type it into the chat and I can answer them. If you guys can hear me and see me, hopefully you did, because I do not want to do this presentation again. But yeah, if you can hear me and see me, do type into the chat and I will answer any questions that you guys have. Did you find the course quite challenging or was it manageable? Personally, for me, I found it manageable only in the sense that, like, only because I try to keep on top of my work. One thing I will note is that you can only like this course that because you're learning three different things. It can be hard to like it can be difficult to keep on top of the work because it's three different like you will get assignments in economics and sometimes you get assignments in politics and law all at once at the same time. But if you do the work when you've been assigned it's fine. But it is like you do need to put in some work with this course. I will definitely say that. But it's not as challenging, but it's not completely difficult, but it is manageable. Like I found it manageable, if that helps to answer your question. It's not split in three ways. It is split in three ways. It's a third. Like basically all your modules are a third. But yeah, if that makes sense. So if you have any further questions, feel free to email me or text me on Unibuddy or email my program chair if that makes any sense to you guys. I hope it does. No bother. So I'm gonna wrap up. But if you, again, as I said, if you have any questions, you can text me on Unibuddy, message me on Unibuddy, or you can email my program chair. Thanks, guys.